Hello everyone, my name is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly. Welcome to a Manchester United preview, another one on my channel, but this one is slightly different today. We have got the lads on today. We have got Zach from Zach's FootyWorld.
How's it going?
It's going well, my friend. And hope you're doing all right as well. We've got the lads in America, United lads. Say hello.
Right.
Or pals, I should say. And then we've got, last but certainly not least, it's Max from ManUnitedMax. Say hello, pal.
How's it going?
It's going spiffingly
Dramatic
well.
intro.
Yeah, I know. Just gave you all hyped you up a bit. But yes, welcome Ryan. Welcome to the stream, buddy. How are you doing? And guys, if you are just joining the stream, please do leave a like on the stream. It really means a lot to the channel. Also, if you want to subscribe to everyone who is featured in this collab, go down in the description down below. Hit that subscribe button on all their channels. Get some support as well. Welcome Vitality and welcome Daryl. Welcome you all to the stream. Thanks for watching. So, obviously today we are previewing the Burnley versus Manchester United game. Now, you know, we've already played Burnley in the league. And, I mean, safe to say it didn't go totally according to plan. Just want to say welcome to Asian game as well. Obviously 2-2 at Old Trafford this season. We went 2-0 behind, and it wasn't great. Lingard saved our blushes in the end. But I do think that today is it's going to be tomorrow. Sorry, Saturday's game is going to be a bit different. I think it's going to be tight, but it's going to be a different game, and hopefully we'll come out with a bit more confidence after our performances as of late. And I'm going to come to you, Max, first on this. Just generally, just what are your thoughts on this game? How do you think, you know, we're going to go about it? And how do you think we need to go about it if we're going to win the game?
I think we switch on from the start. I think that's the only reason why it ended up in a 1 point from the game at Old Trafford. Obviously, we're away, so that's a disadvantage in taking the fans. But we've got to get behind the players, because if we don't start well, we certainly didn't at Old Trafford, and that's just another big thing. We obviously deserved to win the game at Old Trafford because we came back and showed more fight and more resilience. But if we don't do that from the start, it's just not going to go our way. And that is why it ended up in a 2-2 draw at Old Trafford. And I do think we will get the 3 points, but as I said, we're just going to switch on from the start.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, you know, you made a good point, the fact that, you know, if we don't switch on from the start, we've made a lot of performances where we haven't, you know, we've started slowly and we've conceded an early goal, notably against Newcastle as well. We did that, but we were able to come back. Going to come to you guys, United lads. Same questions, Max. How do you think we should go about this game? You know, what are your general thoughts on it?
Matthew? Well, obviously, the last few games, we've definitely picked up form, and we've needed to, you know, to try and close the gap on City. Obviously, you know, Burnley on a bad run at the moment. They haven't won in like 5 or so, on a bit of bad form. But you never know. They're one of these teams that, you know, they can really work you hard, and you have to, you know, really work hard in order to get points. So I mean, it's going to be a hard game. Being at Turf Moor, it always is. But I feel confident. I think we'll get the 3 points, and yeah, I'm quite confident.
Yeah, I mean, with Burnley, we played pretty well, but we made a few stupid errors which cost us the game. So we need to cut them out and make the most of our opportunities. You know, it's that simple. Unfortunately, Mkhitaryan, you know, he's not going to be playing, and we're not going to have Sanchez. But I think we can go out and get 3 points. I would like to touch on Sanchez, though, later on.
Yeah, sure, no problem. We will get into that, by the way, Asian Gamer. Obviously, keep your comments coming in, and we know we'll discuss anything you guys, you know, talk about in the live comments or want us to talk about. I'll read a few of the comments. Ryan says I'm going Manchester United 2-0 Burnley, so a 2-0 win for Manchester United. Asian Gamer talking about Fortnite. He says he just died in Fortnite. What can you do? Welcome, Tubes. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? But Zach, I'm going to come to you on this one. Obviously, same question as United lads, and Max as well. How do you think we should go about it? Because obviously, what happened last time out was not ideal at all. But how do you see us going about it? How do you and yeah, just what are your general thoughts on tomorrow's game?
All right, so I think that we need to go out this fast because if you consider how we started against Stoke, we came at them very, very quickly. We weren't allowing the ball to get out of their half. Every time Stoke got the ball, we would pressure them and get the ball back and we would win the ball. And that would eventually lead to a Valencia goal, a banging goal as well. I'm not expecting the same kind of early goal, but if we can put lots and lots of pressure on Burnley while they're still half asleep from the kickoff, we can probably get another early goal. Once you get an early goal against these teams have to push out. And that just leaves extra space for Lukaku, Martial, Pogba, and all these amazing creative players who can create nothing into a goal in seconds. So I think that's kind of our game plan. Get an early goal, wait for them to kind of push out, and then we can exploit that. And that's what I'm kind of hoping for. So if we can start the game very fast and very ferocious, I think we'll be in a decent position. If we start quite sluggish, it's going to be a tough match because we know Burnley can defend. They got a draw against Chelsea. They got a draw against Spurs. So they're a very, very decent team and one we need to take very, very caution with. But at the same time, they did lose to Crystal Palace, who I haven't had the greatest this season. Obviously, they're on a revive of kind of form, but at the same time, and acting like you're playing to the best of your ability. So they're not in the greatest form, but at the same time, they're still having a good season. So I think they're better defensively than attackingly. So I think strength is kind of trying to keep the part of the bus and then go for a corner. So I think I'd be happy with us kind of in their defense because attackingly, I don't see them really offering much.
Can I just touch on what? Oh, is he going?
No, you go.
Can I just touch on what Zach said? That's something I don't like to, look back too much, but that's something Ferguson would always do. First 20 minutes of a game, he'd always, foot to the floor, give it everything, and it's something we've lacked this season. Sometimes we haven't really cracked on until the second half or until we've gone a goal behind. So in this game, I do want to see us give, 100% from the first whistle.
Yeah, no, 100%. I definitely agree with you guys, to be fair. And I think, the early goal as well, which you mentioned, Zach, obviously is so important to how we play. And I think especially with Jose Mourinho type teams, he really likes, his dream in every game is to get an early goal. And so, then he can sort of have his game plan and impact on the team. I think when you don't have that early goal and when you're kind of searching for it, you're not as stable. And I feel like with a team against Burnley, going to Turf Moor, you need to make sure, that early goal does come into effect. And I think if we score the first goal, then I reckon we'll go on and win the game. In fact, if you look at the stats, every time this season we have scored the first goal, we have won every single game. That's 14 games, 14 wins since every time we score the first goal. So it just shows how important it is. I'm just going to read a few of the messages. By the way, guys, if you are watching, look, we've got 10 viewers. If you are watching, please do leave a like on the stream if you haven't already, and check out all these lads. Description down below. You already know what it is. So yeah, welcome Vitality, welcome Jer as well. A few of you guys putting your lineups and predictions and things like that. Please do keep doing that. I'll read a few more of them out. So Ryan saying his lineups: De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Jones, Shaw, Pogba, Matic, Lingard, Martial, Mata, and Lukaku. Not a bad lineup. We'll obviously get into our lineups very soon indeed. Ryan saying Sanchez will sign. We'll talk about that a bit later on in the stream, so please do stay around for that. We'll update you on the latest Sanchez news because of my contacts. DLM75, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? He says, I hate 3 p.m. games for Man United. Yeah, obviously it means they're not on TV, so you can't. If you want to watch them, you have to kind of stream them or whatever. Welcome to the stream, pal. He says 2-0 to United with Lukaku and Martial to score. Interesting. Also, we'll get into our predictions as well. But, hopefully Martial, I would love to see Martial go on the score sheet. And welcome Ryan. Welcome Ryan Deacon. Welcome to the stream. If you aren't already, subscribe to the channel. Also, subscribe to all these guys in the description down below. But please keep getting your comments in. We will be reading all of your comments and things like that. So, yeah, please do. And also leave a like if you haven't already. But going into this game, lads, obviously we are 12 points off Man City. Obviously, Liverpool beating Man City and ending their unbeaten run. Do you think the title's still on? I know it's a big question. I'm going to come to you, Zach, first, obviously, because I came to you last time, so we'll have you first this time. Do you think the title is over? 12 points in it. What do you think?
Well, I think this is what I think. I think the title isn't over until I'm gonna say, right, this is kind of my own little measurement. Is if we go to City, if we go to the Etihad and it's still the same amount of points that it is right now, 12 points, the league is over. But if by some miracle they've dropped 8 to 8 points to maybe 6 points or something like that, then the league is not. I think the league is still on until that point, but at the same time, we don't need to be thinking, right, if we lose this, we lose the league, because we've already lost the league. The only kind of time actually we could get this league back is if it's below 6 points. If we can get below 6 points, we need to start taking this league seriously, because you think they still have to play Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, not Liverpool, they still have to play us again. And also, you'll think they'll probably drop points against some lower league team who will probably get a draw against them and make a little shock against that. So I think if we consider all those factors, we can get this league back. But at the same time, we need to be flawless. And it seems every time, apart from against Stoke, every time City or a team has dropped points, we have always fallen under and cracked and either drew or lost. And it's really, really frustrating to see, because it just seems like our team doesn't have a backbone. Very, very frustrating. But hopefully Mourinho has kind of cracked that in 2018, because we're seeing with Stoke. Hopefully he can continue to do that, because if we continue to start putting in these performances week in, week out, we're going to provide the squad with way more confidence, and we're also going to be putting more fit into Manchester City, because they know if they drop points, Man United is going to follow up with a 3-0 win wherever they go, and they're going to lose points. And that'll be very, very exciting. Also, if you consider as we get later on into the season, we're later on in the Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, they're going to be playing stronger sides as they get into the finals and semi-finals, which means weaker sides for the Premier League, which always can suggest a mixed-up result, which will always help us out. And there are some positives to that. I'm just hoping City can get to the semi-finals, and maybe they'll drop 6 points because of those two matches, which would be the dream. They got knocked out 6-0 by Barcelona. We're all happy. That's kind of my take on the Premier League situation right now. Right.
There we go. But yeah, I mean, you know, I would agree. I mean, I do think it's good to believe. It's good to believe, because, you know, if you don't believe in the fact if you don't believe that we can actually claw back those 12 points, then what's the point? You're really just playing for pride in your place. But I do think it is important that we do keep that second place, and as you say, keep the pressure on the teams above us and keep performing, and that's all we need to do. Same question with the United lads, and also please do get your thoughts on whether the league is still on and open in the live chat. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. United lads, 12 points in it. Do you think we can still claw it back?
Honestly, I don't think so. But if you look at the Liga as a positive, I think Barcelona are ahead of Real Madrid by about 18 points. So it's not all doom and gloom. Like Zach said, if City do happen to drop 6-8 points by the derby, you know, it's a possibility. We signed Sanchez. It looks like we will do. Things are looking a lot brighter. But for me, the main priority is a second place finish and winning the FA Cup maybe, and Champions League semi-final. I think that's the best we can realistically hope for.
Well, yeah. Well, I think, you know, at the moment, you know, it's mid-January, and, you know, there's still a long way to go in this season, so you can't write us off yet. You know, we're only 4 wins away, so you know, there's still got some big teams to play, and, you know, I think the Champions League will have some effects, you know. But I think too many fans are getting excited about, you know, City losing against Liverpool. I think that's an important point to pick up with. You know, they lost that, but I think, you know, they're one of these teams who can just, you know, get that out of their mind. They can just carry on. You know, I think it was just one of those games where they just didn't turn up, and I think they weren't expecting Liverpool to, you know, put that much pressure on them. But you know, I still think there's a chance. You know, United were 12 points clear back in the day, and we ended up losing the title. So, I mean, anything can happen. But I think at the moment it's unrealistic. We're too many points away, and they're such a good team. So, but that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think you made some good points there. To be fair, I think obviously the point you made just there about the fact that in the past we were 12 points clear and we did bottle it. I won't say what happened because I'm still in pain from that. But anyway, but yeah, no, it can be done. It definitely can be done, and if we play the right way, I definitely think we could do that. I mean, Luke, also you made a good point about the fact that going for the Champions League and doing that going for these kinds of competitions. I do think we need to make them kind of important because it's the first time back in the Champions League, and we want to make a statement to all the other European clubs that we can still battle it out with the big boys, even though we've been out of it for a while. Keep your comments coming in. I'll come to them in just a second. Welcome, Surianch, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. And guys, please do leave a like if you haven't already. Man United, Max, my boy, my son, please do get your thoughts on this. What is your thoughts? 12 points. Can it be done?
I definitely think we can put pressure and close the gap. But I'm about 70% sure that we could sort of go and get a title race, because if you look at City at the moment and you made a new table in the new year, United would obviously be at the top because I don't think we've lost a game since New Year.
Let's just do that.
City, they've lost a game. They've lost a game, drawn a game, and I think they've beat, who was it? I'm not too sure, but I know they've drawn and lost. So City have started to slip up, and they're not winning consistently like they were at the start of the season. They haven't won by a good 4 goals, 3 goals. And that's why I think we could pull it back, because Man United at the moment, we're looking a lot more comfortable. We're looking more as a team, and every player that joins us is happy to play, and we're playing for the badge. And I think City are just playing for the money at the moment. And the fact that they can't get Sanchez because they're blaming it on the money, I just think it's a load of rubbish. But if United keep playing like they do, as I said, like Zach said, if we get up to the Manchester City game, the derby at the Etihad Stadium, and the gap hasn't changed, then I'll be 100% sure it's not possible. But if we can just close it by at least 5 points, that's 2 games for Manchester City to lose, and I think it'll be back on.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make a quick point before Kieran goes on. I think, it is important, with pride and everything. I think we just got to believe, even though it is unrealistic. I think, like Luke's been saying about prioritising the cups, I think we do need to do that, because it is important to, win a competition, get some silverware, because, players can lose their confidence, like we've seen with Mkhitaryan and, Di Maria in the past. So I think it's important that way as well. I think we can challenge City in the cups as well. We're doing decent in the FA Cup, and we've got a decent tie against Sevilla in the Champions League. So I think, we're in a good position. I think also, I think United have improved a lot in the last sort of 6 months to a year. Even though we've been dropping points against Bournemouth and you name it, I think we're improving, and that's important, especially, going into the last quarter of the season.
Yeah, I do think that is true. Yeah, very good points from you guys, to be fair. In my opinion, I would say that we can still do it. I think, obviously 12 points. It's done before, as you guys have said. It's been done before, and you never know. Man City. I mean, as Joe was saying in the comments, he said that you never know. Newcastle could dig their heels in and get a result. You never know. Newcastle are not a bad side. And maybe the fact that Liverpool beat them might knock their confidence slightly. I mean, fingers crossed. But, I mean, Man City are a very good team. But I do hope that they can start dropping points. And I do think that the point you made, Max, about was it Max? I think it was the one about the fact that the game at the Etihad, if the points gap hasn't dropped, then I think that will signal the end of the title race. So I 100% agree. I think it was similar to how at the time at Old Trafford, where the points gap was 8 points, and that was our real opportunity to cut it down. But unfortunately, we didn't do that, and it didn't go to plan. But yeah, I think we're playing Man City in April, is it? So I think that's getting to that sort of stage of the season will mean that if it's not cut, if it is still 12 points, then I will be very sceptical. But yeah, very good points from the lads. As usual, going to read your comments. Thanks for keep leaving your comments, guys. Really appreciate it. Also, leave a like on the stream, as I said, and also go subscribe to all of these guys for some more Manchester United content. Very, very good, might I add. So a lot of you guys get in touch. Vitality says, we got to take the Champions League very seriously. Sanchez is one of those players that can bring us a lot of winning goals by himself. He is a very creative player. Alexis Sanchez, very, very creative. Very, very, one of those players who can create something out of nothing. And it's just, one of those flair players you need in the team. I think, considering Manchester United, our real only flair player, only proper flair player is probably Paul Pogba. And we need probably more flair players like that to create more chances for our strikers, things like that. Asian Gamer says, we bowled, they should bowl, and it'll be Fellaini. I can't read the end of that, but yeah, I think he thinks Fellaini's going to score against Burnley. Yeah, we'll get our predictions in very, very soon. Tube says, to be fair, Pogba, Martial, Sanchez are all special players who could win us big games in the Champions League. Interesting. Obviously, you guys in the chat talking about if Alexis Sanchez, joined, would he be good in the Champions League? Obviously, he is eligible to play for us in the Champions League as well. So that'll be very, very exciting indeed. DNM7 says, who gives about Man City and where they are? Five, just concentrate on our own team, like Pogba said on Monday Night Football after the match. Yeah, I do think we need to concentrate on our own games, and I think it's a very good point. We shouldn't be looking at other teams' form and things like that. We should be going game by game, making sure we get the points. Similar to what Zach said. Vitality said, Sanchez has single-handedly won Arsenal matches against lower-tier sides many times, which is someone which is really influential to our team. Yeah, very, very influential as well to our team. And I think, as you guys in the comments are talking about it, we may as well get onto that topic. So, Alexis Sanchez, if you want to keep talking about it in the live chat, please do give your opinions. Alexis Sanchez, obviously, very, very close, it seems, to signing for Manchester United with a swap deal potentially for the Armenian Henrik Mkhitaryan. Now, I'm going to come to you, United lads, first. Obviously, you guys wanted to talk about this. Alexis Sanchez, what are your feelings on him, and when do you think he's going to sign?
Well, I mean, my thoughts on him, I think, he's a world-class player and he's Premier League proven, and he's such a quality player. Even though he's 29, he's still got years in front of him, and I think, we need him, especially in the games like in the Champions League and stuff, when we need a bit more quality, like you've been saying about our only flair players, Pogba, and I agree with that. I think we need a little bit more quality. I think we need someone who can cross the ball, which is something that Sanchez can do, and someone that can finish as well. So, I mean, it's debatable where he can play, and I'm sure you lads will, discuss that. But I think, Mkhitaryan, talking about Mkhitaryan, I think, he's been at our club, 18 months, and he's not really proven himself in the Premier League. And, you could put that down to Marino not playing him, but I think, there's games where he's just not turned up, and you can't have that United. We need players playing at 100% every game. So, I mean, it'll be a good deal. You can talk about the money and everything, but, we're a big club. We don't need to discuss that. So,
right. Sanchez, I mean, he's the best player out there right now on the transfer market. No doubt about it. I've heard, contract 500,000 a week. Obviously, that doesn't please me, but the caliber of player here, can't speak. The caliber of player he is, I'll take it. Exactly the sort of player we need. You look at our season this year, a lack of chances created at times, and Sanchez will only help improve that.
Yeah, totally agree, lads. I think, Alexis Sanchez, Premier League proven, as you guys have said, very good point, actually. A lot of, if we brought someone in from, a different country or a different league, like we were thinking about bringing in Lucas Moura, to be honest, it might not be, it probably have to take time to get used to the league, but we're bringing in someone like Alexis Sanchez, playing at the high level that he is. It would be, fantastic for him to come, and I don't really care about the transfer fee, to be honest. All the media can write what they want about it, but I think I do think there is a slight agenda against Manchester United and what they like to report and what they don't report about certain transfer deals. But not going to get into that right now. Going to come to you, Zach, my friend. Alexis Sanchez, what are your thoughts?
All right, okay. So I think, right, so there's so many positives with signing Alexis Sanchez. He's Premier League proven. If you think of the players we were going to be going for, Lucas Moura and Malcolm, they're not Premier League proven. They're in a French pub league. It's a risk. It could pay off. It might not pay off. The good thing with Sanchez is the Robin Van Persie effect. He's going to come in and he's going to destroy on the first game he comes in, a bit like Robin Van Persie. I think Alexis Sanchez will have the same effect on us in a year and a half. I think he'll win us the league. And I think it's going to be very, very exciting. I think with Sanchez, he offers us experience because if you think we're going to be getting rid of Zlatan, apparently. We've got rid of Rooney. Carrick will probably be going very, very soon. So we don't have much experience in the Premier League readily available for us. And Sanchez is that guy who can give us experience. He can also provide so much more attackingly. If you think how many creative chances we've been making, it's really just rested on Pogba. Now we mix that in with Sanchez, it's going to implode the amount of chances we have. Doubling the amount of goals, doubling the amount of chances for Lukaku, which will just absolutely destroy teams, which is very, very exciting. I also believe Sanchez is going to really offer us on the wings, on the right, which will free up Mata, because Mata we've seen just been locked in at that right mid. He's not fast enough to be a right mid or a right winger. So puts Mata back in his number 10 role where he will absolutely destroy it. So that will be a positive for the team. We're basically getting a new player with Mata coming back. We'll also be getting a very, very experienced, fast, very, very good player in Sanchez. Also, the positive with Sanchez is a fighter. Sanchez fights. He will literally, if he loses the ball back, he will go straight back and win that ball. That's what we need. We don't have enough fighters in our club right now, because if Man United go down to Brighton randomly, the only people that are going to shout are maybe Pogba and Lukaku. If we can bring Sanchez in there, who will be screaming at someone if they make a mistake that concedes to a goal, it's going to create real fear in the squad to actually do well and perform at a very, very high level, because they don't want to get screamed at, obviously. And also, it creates fight, because if we're 1-1 at 8 in the 84th minute, Sanchez is going to be that guy to work his ass off to get us that goal, to get us the 3 points. We saw it with Arsenal, where he wasn't very passionate. Imagine what he's going to be under a flary Man United manager in Jose Mourinho. An amazing support compared to the library at Emirates. Way more creativity in Pogba. World-class players and just a world-class, worldwide reach. I think we're going to see the best out of Sanchez when he moves to Manchester United.
Yeah, I definitely agree, Zach. By the way, just want to say a special mention to Community Devils and also everyone else in the live chat. Thank you very much for joining. Please do leave a like and also go subscribe to Community Devils channel if you haven't already. Great Manchester United channel. But yeah, Zach, to be fair, what I noticed what you said is, obviously what you said about how there's so many positives with signing Alexis Sanchez. And I 100% agree. And also, I mean, the one major thing I pick out is the fact that he's a fighter and he's so determined. You want someone who's going to come in and play their socks off for 90 minutes. I mean, you could argue that possibly Mkhitaryan, some people would say he was a bit of a passenger when he was off form and not really, really putting in the work that he should have been doing. But you know for certain that Alexis Sanchez will do that for you. He's a perfect Jose Mourinho player. He gets in there, does the dirty work, will challenge people, will run after them, and then can produce pieces of absolute genius. And that is what we need if we want to challenge for the big titles. Keep your comments coming in, guys. I will be reading them out in just a second. But first, Max, Alexis Sanchez. I mean, do I need to say any more? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think a lot of people sort of criticise the defence at Man United, saying we need better players in the defence. We have a lot of injuries all the time. But if you look at the attack and the midfield, you take away one person such as Pogba and Mata. Pogba, we felt like we had no one to replace him. We just fell to pieces. If you take away Mata, who's going to be your left-footed magician in the attack? You don't have one. So I think obviously Alexis Sanchez is right-footed, but just having someone like that, not necessarily to replace him, but just to be alongside him in the squad, it would just bring so much. And I think if you do get someone like him, he's not a Martial who's all skillful and very attacking, but he's got the mindset of a sort of, what would be the word, Premier League proven player. that he can just pick out any pass, pick out any skill, and pick out any shot that he wants. And I think that would work really, really well for Manchester United, especially when we need to take more of our chances in the final third. And I just wanted to touch on Mkhitaryan's agent. He actually said earlier, I think, he was trying to get Mkhitaryan to go to Arsenal, but he wants him to be the most paid player in North London. So that could be an effect on why there's a delay in him signing. And also, the agent wants more money and a better result for him in the deal.
I've actually got a question for any of you lot. So obviously Mkhitaryan going the other way. What do you make of his United career, and do you think he made the most of it?
Yeah, I certainly do, because I don't think we would be in the Champions League right now if it wasn't for him. I think he was a top goal scorer in Europa League. Yeah, he took quite a long time to fit in, but the things he's done at Manchester United, especially with that assisting in the final third of the season last year, and just bringing so much to the club, I think we will really miss him. And I think just because he has had a blip, he's the only player you can really turn to and say, look, we've got a chance to sign Alexis Sanchez. He's got to go.
I mean, personally, he was flying at Borussia Dortmund. He's a quality player, and he still will be. He's still at a really good age. I think he just lacks that confidence. I think he's one of those players who, if he has a bad game, it'll impact him. And I think, I do feel sorry for him. I don't think he got enough games. I think he could still have proven himself, but I think. Now possibly having Sanchez, I'm not worried about it at all. I think we've got a lot of players, in those positions. So,
in an ideal situation, I'd keep them both. I'd have Sanchez and Mkhitaryan both playing, because something we lack that City have is squad depth. But I really, I can't see that ever working, having Sanchez and Mkhitaryan in the same team.
I mean, yeah, how can you play them both on the same team if you're thinking about Martial and Rashford,
exactly,
and the players you might bring in? You've got to be realistic. Mkhitaryan will want to play first team football. He'll want to play in the big competitions. He won't want to play in these, lower cup competition games. So, I think for him to develop as a player as well and to get game time is what every footballer wants to have. So. I think that is an important point you made about, trying to keep all our players. And I think that's what Mourinho's, tried to do. But I think he's sort of understood now that, Mkhitaryan needs to move on now.
I think I have a different viewpoint. Okay, I agree with you on the fact that he has made the most of it in some aspects, because he did do very, very well in the Europa League. He did okay in the Champions League this season as well, because competitions are less physical. The problem for me with Mkhitaryan, he never buffed out. He never gained muscle to kind of counteract the fact that he's quite weak. The Premier League's very rough. The Premier League's very physical compared to the Bundesliga. And that's what's kind of screwed up Mkhitaryan, in my opinion. Very, very good when not in a physical battle. But when in a physical battle, he is worthless. So the thing is, when you compare that to Sanchez, Sanchez isn't like that. So it does make complete sense to get rid of Mkhitaryan and get him in. It's obviously unfortunate to see him struggle right now. He's a confidence player, and I think he'll do better under Wenger, because Wenger's more a cuddly manager. Mourinho's like, I'm going to push you out in the cold. You can either fight or you're going to struggle up. And he's obviously done the second option there. But we've seen Luke Shaw and Martial obviously fight and get back in the team. So it does work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Fortunately, it hasn't worked with Mkhitaryan. But I don't know. This season, has Mkhitaryan really taken his chances when you think we were giving him, everyone was calling him to be benched, and he was getting game after game after game? Or if he's had, does he's really taken? Because we're seeing when he was playing, he was giving the ball away quite a lot. But at the same time, that is confidence, because if you have ability in yourself, which he does have the ability to do, play amazing balls through, doesn't have the confidence to do so, I'm not too sure. It's unfortunate what's happened to Mkhitaryan, because I do believe Mkhitaryan, if he really had the good confidence, he could be one of the best cam/right wings in this league.
I mean, I agree, but I think, if you're talking about him this season, he hasn't took his chance as well. He's one of these players who needs game time, and he hasn't had a lot of games this season, has he? So, I mean, we'll see what he does at Arsenal. I'm sort of hoping he plays bad at Arsenal, but yeah.
I mean, again, just I love this discussion, lads. But to be fair, on this Mkhitaryan issue, just before I get into the comments, thanks for leaving your comments, by the way, guys. Obviously, Zach, you did make a very good point. The fact about the physical battles and the fact that Mkhitaryan isn't great in those. And if you look at the Premier League, it's so much more physical than any other league, in my opinion, in Europe. The refereeing's much less strict, and you get away with more. And with Mkhitaryan, he's more suited to maybe a La Liga or French league or even Bundesliga, where he was Bundesliga Player of the Season. He's so much more suited to that, where it's more passing, moving. It's what those leagues. It's more about pure ability than your tenaciousness or your willingness to kind of do stuff on the pitch. But in those sort of leagues, if you are very skillful and you're going to be a good player in those leagues. But I do hope that as well. I do wish him well in his career. Hopefully he doesn't haunt us when he does play us, but hopefully he does all right. Just going to read a few of the comments. Max, by the way, thank you very much for joining the stream. Please do subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. In the description down below. Yeah, no problem, mate. No problem.
See you later, Max.
See you, mate. Thanks for being on.
Yep, see you.
Bye.
See you, Max. See you, Max, pal. And as I said, if you want to go to subscribe to his channel or all the other channels in the description down below, go hit that sub button. Yes.
We've probably got like another 10 minutes.
All right. We can. All right. Do you want to do like the predictions then?
Yeah. Also, just for my subscribers, sorry that I haven't uploaded for a couple of weeks. We've been really busy with coursework, but we'll be back with the uploads next week.
Yeah, we should be back. Obviously, we do feel guilty not doing streams. We try to do them every week, but hopefully, we'll get back on that track.
Very, very good. We do hope you guys upload, because you're very, very good. You're very, very good, and I'm sure a lot of you guys in the live chat, all of you guys, will agree. Thank you very much for joining, Matthew. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Widhams, for joining as well. Another United lads legend on the stream. Thanks for joining. Please do leave a like, guys. As Ryan said, let's try and get up to 15 likes. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, a lot of you guys commenting and things like that. Thank you so much for that. Widham says, United lads, don't worry about it. Quality over quantity. And I think that's a very good statement as well. Quality is definitely better than quantity, in my opinion. Widham says about Sanchez, if he doesn't get the number 7, is that a major indication of another attacking arrival in the summer? Well, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going to happen. You cannot predict the transfer window these days. It's ridiculous. There's just so much stuff that's happening. And Community Devils asked what the time is in the United States over there.
4:15 in the afternoon.
4:15 in the afternoon. There's your answer. There we go. And Tube says, finally, just on the Sanchez Mkhitaryan thing, he says Mkhitaryan will shine for Arsenal, and he says, I wish we sold him abroad. I think that is true. I think in some ways, selling him to another Premier League rival might not have been the best idea. But if it means we're going to get a player like Alexis Sanchez, I don't really mind too much. Although I do think some of the hate he's getting on Twitter for apparently delaying the deal is not justified, in my opinion. But there we go. We'll leave that there, and we'll come back to it in a later stream. Right now, let's continue on with a Burnley pint of the preview now. As Matthew Jones has just said there, please do leave a like, guys, and also subscribe to all the channels in the description. But I'm going to come to you guys, United lads. Obviously, the game is coming up. We played really well in our last game. I would like you to give me your lineup and also your prediction in the kind of same thing. Obviously, we are running out of time slightly. So yeah, what is your lineup prediction, and also what do you think is going to be the scoreline for tomorrow's game?
All right, I'll quickly say my lineup. So I think we'll have Tony Valencia right back, Smalling and Jones centre backs, and I think Luke Shaw will be left back. I don't think Young's obviously come back from his suspension now, but I don't think he'll come back. Matic and Pogba in the holding midfield position, and then you've got Martial on the left, Mata on the right, and then Lukaku up front. And I'm going for a 2-0 win. I think we'll get 2 early goals, and I think we'll seal it out. I think Mourinho is good at that. Once we get, I think it's important we need to get early goals. Like you've been saying earlier, it's important to start off well. Especially, in the past we've played teams like Burnley and we've not given them enough respect. And so I think it'll be an easy 3 points for United and close the gap on City, hopefully.
Right. So I'm going with exactly the same lineup Ryan went for way back at the start of the stream. I saved it. I agreed with it a lot. Love you, Ryan. De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Jones, Shaw, Pogba, Matic, Lingard, and Lukaku. I think that's all of it. Yeah, anyway, Ryan's lineup. I like that one a lot, so I'm going with his. And my score prediction, I'll go the same as Matthew. 2-0 United.
Oh, you weren't playing Fellaini up front? I thought.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
2-0 United from the boys. I think that was going to be the, that was going to be my prediction as well. But actually, I won't spoil it. I'll get on to my prediction in just a second. But we've got Zach here, who's got a prediction for us and also a lineup for us, hopefully. Zach, take it away.
All right, okay, so I'll go with the lineup first, and then I'll see how this team plays out. So I've gone with a little bit different to you guys. I've gone with, obviously, the big boy, De Gea in goal, Valencia. I've gone with Jones and Rojo. In my stream, I did say Lindelof and Rojo, but I meant Jones.
Yeah.
With again, like Luke Shaw there, obviously playing fantastically well with that rejuvenated confidence of playing week in, week out. After Luke Shaw, I've gone with the 4-3-3. I've gone with Matic, the absolute beast, keeping us safe there. And then I've gone with Pogba, and I've actually gone with Mata on the centre now because I think Mourinho's going to start testing him in the central line as Sanchez is going to be playing on that right. We'll be seeing Mata moved into the centre, seeing him in his usual position apart from this season. Then I'm going to be seeing Lingard on the right. I think Lingard deserves a starting chance, obviously playing phenomenally this season. So hopefully we can see continuous gameplay from him. Hopefully he can get a goal or two. That'd be very, very good to see. Supporting him on the left, I obviously want Martial, my main man Martial, absolutely dominating this season. I feel bad for Rashford because Martial's been playing so well. He's keeping Rashford off on the bench, unfortunately for Rashford. But at the same time, at least he's still getting game time, so I'm happy with that. But and then we've got the big boy, the big man, Romelu Lukaku, obviously packing them in now, absolutely destroying actually right now. He's obviously finished it against Stoke. Hopefully he can continue the form. Again, hoping he can continue this up. And my score prediction for this game is 2-0. I'm going to go a bit safe, not sorry. I went for the same 2-0 prediction against Stoke. I just don't see us scoring that many goals, but if we do, fantastic. I just don't see Burnley scoring at all because our defense is sound and they don't really offer anything attackingly. So yeah, that is kind of my little prediction there.
I've actually got 2 quick questions before we move on. So this is obviously for any of you lot. So obviously, what do you make of Matic the last few matches? He's obviously been quite quiet. I mean, do you think he's a solid player, or do you think he needs to tweak his game a little bit to be a little bit more impactful on certain games?
I mean, Zach, have you got any thoughts on that one? No, I'll let you go first.
That was great. The facial expression, I don't know. Let's ask Zach. Okay. I think it's quite good though. Actually, we're not seeing. I mean, we haven't seen Matic make more mistakes. I mean, that's obviously because of tiredness. I think in the Stoke match we didn't see too many mistakes because he wasn't tired. He was fresh. I think when we're seeing a tired person who's played pretty much every single Manchester United game, you are bound to get mistakes from a person who is fatigued, and that was the problem. That's why I wanted Fabinho in from the start, who would kind of cover Matic, but at the same time he didn't do that. But at the same time, I'm quite happy with the way Matic has been playing recently. It's kind of good to see him, though, not really be... because when he's not focused on Manchester United aren't under the cosh, we are playing expansive football. Matic is just sitting in front of the defensive line, just playing these little balls into Martial or playing these little balls into Valencia who can cross the ball in. That's all we're seeing him right now, which is quite good. We don't really want to be seeing Matic running for dear life on a counter-attack defending us because it would be good to see, but it wouldn't be at the same time because I would have a heart attack. So I don't want to be seeing that. All I want to be seeing is Matic just chilling about
Yeah.
in the middle between where the centre, the halfway line is and the box is, and just controlling the play as he has been doing. And I think Matic has been doing a stellar job. It would be nice to get some other young CDM in just to kind of role reverse with Matic. Obviously, he's not getting any younger, so he does need time off as well as that. But that's what I'm thinking, Kieran. Now let's get your opinions on, mate.
Yeah, no, I will. No, no. The question was fine. I was just letting you guys have your opinion. I just want to make that clear. I wasn't dissing your question, Matthew. But no, but
this track, Matthew. This track. Contact Asian Gamer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look, Nemanja Matic. I think he's been a revelation this season.
Yeah.
I think he's really played really well. In a couple of games, I would have, wanted him to have a bit more impact. As you said, I do think, Matthew, that it is a good point that in some games he doesn't have a bigger impact as others. But I do think that sometimes his role is kind of underrated and maybe not covered too much by the game, and you might not really remember what he does. But if you actually look back and analyse his role, he's actually very effective in more subtle ways. And I think having a player like that in a team is as crucial as having a goal scorer in the team, because the player who does the dirty work, the player who goes around and the player who goes around doing the tackles and setting up the play and also protecting, because without him, Pogba wouldn't be freed up. And I think that's one of the things which he does so well in his role. He frees up our other better flair players, or attacking midfield players, to go forward. And I think that's why he's a very, his role is very, very important.
I think it's also important to mention, obviously with Pogba being out for quite a lot of the season, I think he's played pretty well. He's tried to get forward as much as he can. I think, in these big games, in some of these big games, especially against City, I thought he was our best player. Like you've been saying, it's that dirty work he does. He really grinds and he works really hard for our team. Obviously, like Zach was saying, I think he is a bit tired, and I think it was important, especially in Dubai, to get those 10 days off. It's something that we really need. I personally think we should get a Christmas break, but that's something for another collab. But I think he's doing really well. I think he's a very important player for us. Obviously, freeing up Pogba, like we've been saying. But what's your thoughts on it, Luke? Before we move on,
Kieran, I think you've all pretty much covered it. Yeah, nothing more to add, really.
Yeah.
Fair play. But yeah, I think we have hit the nail on the head. I think Matic is, as you guys are saying in the chat, I think also I don't think there's any worries about his future at Manchester United. He's definitely going to be a Manchester United player. Yeah. As Community Devil says, he ain't going nowhere. And I do agree with that. Widums says, we have to start playing a midfield three. Pogba will thrive as Matic. And I think Fosu Mensah could play on the right side. To be fair, Fosu Mensah playing really well for Crystal Palace, so potentially someone who we could recall and really make into a superstar at Manchester United, or a very, very good defender. Yeah. Tube saying Matic dictates the play with legs around him like Pogba. Herrera, hopefully new sign. Timothy Fosu Mensah, Herrera, hopefully new signings like Savic and Fabinho. Yeah, I think the more people like that we can get in around Matic, the better, and the more our midfield would be solid. And all of you guys here saying how good Matic is and the roles that he does. Very, very good comments from you guys as always. Also, please do leave a like. The target, as we've been saying in the stream, is 15 likes. Can we please try and hit it if we can? A like takes 1 second, but to me and to all the other guys in the stream, it really makes a huge difference. So please do leave a like on the stream, guys, and also go and check out the channels in the description down below. United lads, Zach, and of course Max from ManUnitedMax as well. But yeah, it's obviously the game's tomorrow. I don't know what to say. I thought, Matthew, did you have another question? Did you have?
Oh, for God's sake! You haven't done it again.
I didn't know what else to say.
Yeah, so
we talked about everything.
Matthew, you got another question?
With obviously, the rumor that Alexis might come in the next sort of few days. Him playing on that right hand side. Hopefully, will we see Mata or Lingard in that number 10 position? I think that's an important question that we should, talk about.
All right. I'll give my opinion this time. Obviously, I think, with Sanchez coming in, it is going to, make players move around a bit. I think there will be a bit of movement in terms of player positions. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing because maybe it might create more competition and players will have more hunger to play well and try and earn their place. I think a bit of competition for places is not a bad thing. And especially when you're getting the likes of Alexis Sanchez in, it's not too bad. I think that, with Jesse Lingard, obviously he's been showing fantastic potential. I mean, he's been this Lord and Saviour, for us in his past few games, and he's on the form of his life. And I think, how long is that going to keep up for? I'm not sure. But I would like to see him, keep getting opportunities in the team because I think he can definitely create stuff. On the topic of, Juan Mata as well. Very, very nice guy, very, very good player, and I really want him to stay at United. I do think, unfortunately, that if Sanchez does come in, Mata will be the one that's being kind of replaced and probably won't get as much pitch time, even though for me, Juan Mata is probably one of our best creative players. So I think, I would say that, player positions are going to be affected, definitely, if Sanchez comes in. But I think when you're getting someone like Alexis Sanchez, he will add so much that I don't think, moving the players around will really affect the team too much. Hopefully, the confidence of the players who do get moved around doesn't get knocked too much. But Zach, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, I just think I'm on a different mindset. Actually, I think Mata will actually get more game time because I think with a more expansive player like Sanchez taking the right side, Mata's not going to be playing on the right anymore. He's going to play in the centre. We're not going to be seeing Mata on the right struggling because he's not as fast. He's going to be in his natural position, creating chances, being that 8 out of 10 that we all know and love. I believe maybe Mourinho can play that 4-3-3 where we have Matic and we have the Pogba next to him, the Pog, and then we have Mata. So there's so much creative options with that. I hope that Matic and Mata and Pogba can really create a diverse and concrete midfield because that could set us up for the league. The only way I see Mata really position being affected is if we get Dybala in the summer or if we get Ozil in the summer. They're my two kind of queries with that. Also, I just want to say, Fosu Mensah, I was on about him. Next season, I would like to see him play a right back reversing with Valencia. I believe he's good enough. We're seeing it with Crystal Palace. Imagine what he can do with good defenders around him instead of Crystal Palace defenders around him. Interswapping with Valencia game in, game out because Valencia is getting older. Then the season after, him taking the reins. Also, the good thing with Fosu Mensah, he can play CDM as well, so he can be a little bit of a backup for Matic until maybe we get Fabinho in for his replacement eventually. Also, I just want to shout out Vitality. Do you remember how many videos we made on Fabinho? When I had 30 subscribers, me and Vitality used to smash out video a day in the summer. They used to be the days, boys. But yes, I remember that, my friend. But yeah. And
I just want to go back to that. Also, I just want to go back to that Mata point. Obviously, when he was playing at Chelsea, he was amazing and he was so influential in that number 10 position. So I think, I personally agree with Zach. I think he will get more game time. He's more influential in that number 10 position. I think he can help Lukaku out more as well. So we could maybe see Lingard move on. I'm not sure, or he could just stay and do what he's doing. I don't know.
I can't see that.
Luke, do you have any thoughts?
Nah.
Right, I'd
probably agree more with what Zach's saying though about Mata playing in the centre. That's definitely his preferred position.
I mean, Kieran, are you thinking that potentially Lingard's going to play in that position, number 10 position? Is that why you think Mata's not going to get much game time, or what's your?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, I do think that. I think you actually hit the nail on the head. To be fair, because I feel that Jesse Lingard, both Juan Mata and Jesse Lingard are putting in some fantastic performances. And right now, actually, if you look at the Stoke game, he was playing more in a number 8 role than number 10 role. Jesse Lingard, and even though I think Juan Mata is more suited to that number 10 role, I think that Jesse Lingard will be able to provide a bit more in that number 10 role at the moment. In the future, I'm not too sure. Now, obviously, everything could change. Obviously, I think Juan Mata, obviously, from his days at Chelsea and his early days at Manchester United, is the more natural number 10. But I think at this moment in time, I'd definitely play Jesse Lingard in that number 10 role. He's just doing so well at linking up the play between the strikers and the other midfielders around him. So, yeah, I do think that Jesse Lingard will play in that number 10 role, unless, as Zach said, we might bring in someone else in the summer, like an Ozil, like a Dybala. Then I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I'm not sure he'd be able. Yeah, what I'm saying is, if we don't find anyone, then I think that Jesse Lingard is going to play. All right, I can't get my words out. All right, I don't know why.
Possibly, we might need a bit more quality in that number 10 position. So, that could be one of the signings that one of the first signings we get in the summer.
Yeah.
Because it's a very important position. It's one of the most important positions on the pitch, and it can really help out Lukaku. And I think although Lingard's played really well, and Matic gets he does decent. I still think we need someone at that next caliber, to really take us to that next level. Someone like Dybala, who's got that talent in him as well.
Yeah,
I think that's a good point now.
I completely agree.
I don't want to cut you off.
No, go on, mate. Go on, mate.
Questions. We need to go off in
we've got
in
a few minutes.
Just want to say shout out to Monday YouTube. She says the number 7 for Alexis Sanchez is the negative message to Cristiano Ronaldo transfer. To be honest, mate, I doubt that Cristiano Ronaldo is gonna come to Manchester United. I think we can quash that right now. But if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. Do Manchester United content most days, and also subscribe to these guys in the description down below, my friend. So if you are a new watcher, please do subscribe to the channel. United lads, Zach's FootyWorld and Max in the description down below. But yeah, Zach, do you want to say something?
I just think that where was that? Oh, yeah, I think that the number 7. If Sanchez gets the number 7, it's a clear indicator to me that Griezmann isn't coming and we're going for Dybala. That's my thing. I think we'll get one of the two. Some people say you're a Man United fan who has way too ambitious, biggest team in the world. Mourinho's just signed a contract. We've just got Sanchez. By the end of the season, we've probably won the FA Cup, come a semi-final, come second in the league. We have a very big squad. We have pretty nailed on positions. I think the only 2 positions we need to work on, maybe a better number 10 in Dybala and maybe another world-class centre-back next to Bailly. So they're not big positions that we need to focus on. There's only 2. And if we think we have a £300 million budget, we could literally have 250 million on Dybala, 50 million on a centre back. So it's not reasonable when you think of the budget we have and you think of only 2 players, in my opinion, that we only really have. So it's not too bad. I also think the number 7 shirt is Griezmann's. So I think if Sanchez does take it, that's a big sign for me. But if he doesn't take it, Griezmann is happening. So I'm not too sure. I'd probably have Dybala over Griezmann.
Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that rumor about the number 7 curse? And that if he comes to United, it'll be another flop.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Michael Owen one.
Jesus. The thing is, guys, I'm getting him on my shirt. As soon as he signs, we're getting the new Man United shirt against Sanchez on the back.
Yeah, I've ordered the poster.
Just want to say to Brother Gaming, you are slightly late, pal, but welcome to the stream. Please do leave a like if you haven't already. But yeah, United lads, obviously you're probably gonna go in a second. So any last words from you guys on the game or anything like that?
It's just been a really good collab, and I'm liking your green screen, so keep that up. A great turnout for the people in the comments. It's great to have all of you lads in there. So let's hopefully we can do one of these maybe in the next month or 2. We like to do these, and it's great to have us all together. So yeah,
thank you as always, and all of you in the live chat. Thank you, everyone that turned up.
Coming on.
Great turnout.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, lads. Appreciate it. And also, if you want to go subscribe to their channel, as I said, link is in the description down below. Great Manchester United content. And also go subscribe to all the other channels as well in the description. But yeah, the Burnley game tomorrow. Oh yeah, go on.
Kieran,
Luke,
you need to finish off with Max's song.
Right, I will do. I'll say the last bit and then I'll finish off with this. I'll sing his song then. Right, okay, I'll sing his song.
Goldie style.
Scroll up. I have to scroll up though. Okay.
End it on a high.
Welcome, Maxi.
Yep, no problem, Max. Thanks for joining the stream as well. If you want to go subscribe to his channel, please do. In the link in the description down below. Just have to read this to make sure I don't butcher it. Okay, yeah. All right. We've got Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez. I just don't think you understand. He'll sign for us one day. He'll take us all the way. We've got Alexis Sanchez.
I think we should all.
Quality song.
No.
I think we're going to end it. I think we're going to end it like that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As I said, please do hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 15 likes. If you are watching this as a video, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to interact with you guys. My thanks to ManUnitedMax. United, lads. Say goodbye, lads.
See ya.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have you up for that one. Say goodbye, lads.
See ya.
Yep. Say goodbye, Zach. Thanks for coming on.
Goodbye. Cheers, lads. Hand me on.
And goodbye from me. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.
That was the sassiest goodbye.
hopefully tomorrow will be the day that Alexis Sanchez signs for Manchester United, and hopefully we get 3 points in the bag to celebrate. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.